Good morning, y'all. My name's Robert Davis. Let's just jump right into this. I'll launch Rad Studio with Delphi. And what we're working on in the last tutorial was creating a simple incremental search dialog that we could use in database applications. And we'll go to this here, fire it up. And as you recall, we have a simple dialog with a text edit and a list box and a button, and quite simply and then we have the ADO connection to our database, a query and a data source. We launch it, and if I'm looking for a certain name, just type the first letter of the name. There's my friend Isabel. But if I want something different, I can type, for instance, N, and that narrows it down to my wife Linda. Or type an M. The only occurrence of an M so far in the table is Maria Smith. And that's how it works. You don't have to know everything, how to spell the whole name or anything like that. You're just looking to get it populated into the list box for the name that you select. And that's how that works. Robert and Maria. And if I just want Robert, that's it. And while that's selected, I can click on select and close. It'll go to that record in the table, ready for it to edit, update, delete, what have you. Okay, so there's that. But now what we're concentrating on is this here. This is a full-blown database application that I made for my friend in Japan. What we wanted to do is sew that incremental search dialog into the application so it's usable, say for instance, most popular from a menu item. So let's run this and see what we've got. Now, we've already had the pick list in by name, but we haven't had the incremental search dialog, and we'll look at how we can use that. Here you see again, it's just the same sort of dialog that in the last tutorial, little update. And what we'll do is we'll type, say for instance, I'm looking for Johnny Carson. Type John. You see how it's narrowing things down. Oh, and then N, and that's all I need. Tab and select by pressing the space bar, and then tab and enter, and you see we're on Johnny Carson's record. If I want another, say for instance John, just do this, and well, John Boy Walton. Tab to enter the text box, press space bar to select it, tab and enter. And there we're on John Boy Walton's record. So that's the way that works. Pick list is different. You have to know the name you're looking for and a bit about where it's going to end up in the list. And but you can pick it that way. And then find by name is different because you have to know the full name and type it in correctly, and there you go. But a faster way, of course, is by incremental search. Type a Z, get a few, put ZU, it narrows it down. Tab and spacebar to select, tab, enter, and there you go. We're on Zubin Mehta's record. So let's look at the code and see how this is done. The incremental search dialog is unit 4, so we'll open that. And there you see the layout of that. And we'll go back to unit 1 and go look at the code. And up here we have step 1. And it's just this simple. Show the incremental search dialog, which is inc search and unit 4, as you see, and dot show. So now we go over to unit 4, look at the code, and up here, step 2 is that we just clear everything in the incremental search so there's nothing in it, and then set the focus to edit one dot text. Step 3 is pretty much a money maker. We clear the items again in list box 1 items, and then set S part. This is happening on every key up in edit one text. Every key up event fires this code, and then so we clear that. Trim whatever is in edit one text to an spart variable. And if it's not blank, that's what this means. If it's not blank, close the query, clear the SQL, and then add the SQL. And this is the important part. And we say select ID, present name from clients, where present name like, that's an important operator in your SQL statement. Quoted string is percent spart percent. And you put that in the SQL add, open the query, and go to the first record. Of course, it defaults to the first record. That may be a little bit redundant. So you see how that's done. The tricky part that I was having a little bit of problem with was this, how to make the quoted string for the like statement. So step 4 is if we're not at the end of the file, which we're not if we ended up here, and if we trim the field and it's not blank, then we go to the list box 1 items and add present name text from the table, and then go ADO query 1 next, and if there is no next, it just falls out into here, step 5. So if the list box item index is greater than -1, which means 0 through whatever, you always want to check if something is selected. Use the form 1 ADO1 table to locate present name and what's in the list box, and then it closes the form, because this is the form close event. It closes the form, and you end up on the main form 1, with that record selected and displayed in your edit view for editing or possibly even deleting. And that's how that works. So let's see it again in action in the find client by incremental search. And we don't have a TAY, OTAN. Okay. Tab, spacebar, tab, enter. Just that simple. Another kind of cool thing is I put her imaginary birth date in, and it down here, status bar, it displays her age. And in the next tutorial, we'll do how to calculate age with the 4-digit precision after the decimal. So that gets it pretty much right on it. And you see the age is 6.8 years. And that's how it's done. It's fairly straightforward. A little tricky. I want to find Ozzy Osbourne. Tab, spacebar, tab, enter. There we go, we're at his record. Now, one of the things you'll notice here, I'm going to put his date of birth as some fictitious thing. We'll do live 9/1951. Now, we're in the edit mode on this record, so I just want to show you. Say you go to another record and you haven't saved the edit by clicking this box. You haven't saved the edit, but you want to go to a different record now. We'll go to Janis Joplin. Tab, spacebar, tab, enter. And there we are. Now, whoops, we didn't intentionally save that. Let's look again at Ozzy's record. But it saved it. So whenever you're in edit and you navigate away on a database scroll event, it updates whatever edits are open. So there's that too, which is pretty convenient. You don't have to remember to press this edit button to post it. So that's how it's done. It's as simple as that. Oh, and you can also still find a record by scrolling the list view and double clicking. So there's that too. So there's all kinds of ways to get to the record that you want, and this navigation bar covers most all the operations you want to do to a record in the table. So if you have any comments, feel free to leave them. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those. I'll try to get back to you right away. Also, there's a announcement I hope to make very soon about a particular software product that I use quite a bit and you found very popular on here on the Delphi programming tutorials. And so there's news coming up on that soon. So if you press the subscribe and the notification bell, you'll get informed when that next tutorial or that announcement comes out. But I'm going to work on the calculating ages and ages between dates in the next tutorial. So I appreciate the time you've taken with me. Again, I'm Robert Davis, and you have a very good week. This is early Monday morning here, and wherever you're at, you have a really good week, and I'll talk to you in the next tutorial. Thank you so much. Bye.